There you are. So Levi kicks ass at YouTube. I had a whole bio for him, but ultimately his presentation will speak for him. Guy has got how much in sales from YouTube?
22 million.
22 million.
In 5 months.
In 5 months from dominating on YouTube. He flew in from Texas to be here. I am so excited. Everyone, please, let's go. Do not let me down. Put your hands together for our first speaker, Levi Lascsak. Lascsak? Lick. Fuck. I practiced.
Huh? Lascsak.
Lascsak. Guys, I practiced so much.
It's all right. It's Polish.
I think I pulled it
It's
from
all
a
right.
James. So thank you so much for being here. And hell yeah, let's have a great day, you guys.
Oh, thank you. Let's get this started. So, if you're a real estate agent and you've ever wondered what it's like to do a presentation in front of people, would you be nervous? Well, it's a lot different presenting in front of strangers than it is to present in front of friends. All right, see how easy that was? That wasn't that bad, was it? And that's it. We'll kind of talk a little bit about this, but that's really all you need. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, great. All right, first call to action, which is very important, right? Calls to action. Everybody stand up. All right. Yeah. I know. Thanks for getting me out of breath right before I had to speak. If you felt the rumble in the room, that was Fred. Whenever I was jumping up and down. All right. I just wanted to do a quick room reset. So whenever I pull to refresh, all you need to switch places so I know you're in the right order. All right. I'm just kidding. Oh, y'all sit down. That was a Clubhouse joke. If anybody doesn't know who Clubhouse is. All right. Second call to action is follow me on Instagram because I need help on Instagram because I focus all on YouTube. So actually Instagram is really just where I network mostly with real estate agents. So if you could follow, that would help out. I'm still trying to get to 1,000, but hey, to each our own on our own platform, right? And Travis is my partner. He's not here today, but he really handles all of the real estate side, which really makes it a very cohesive team. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about that. But real quick, I don't know, how much time do I have? Do I have a timer? 45 minutes. All right. You got me? Okay. All right, so here's the problem. Look at this. Straight from the National Association of Realtors, right? Look at this stat right here. Let me see. Let me find my... All right. Realtors with 2 years or less experience that had a median gross income of $8,900, right? That's a decrease. Look at that, a slight decrease from $9,300. So real estate agents, if you have less than 2 years, you just got a pay cut. So that's a problem, wouldn't you say? And that probably leads into, there's a Tom Ferry event here. Did you see that? Tom Ferry, he talks about 87% of agents fail within their first 2 years, right? Why is that? Well, if you think about it, the average agent comes in usually with less than $5,000 to their name. Because think about it, they're switching careers, something happened in their life, maybe they were stay at home this or that, or they decided, it's time to get out there. And so usually people come into the real estate business already in a financial strain. And so think about that. If you come in a financial strain and then your median income is $8,900, wouldn't you expect 87% to fail within the first 2 years? So the thing is that when you start in real estate, you're going to have one of two things you can usually invest with. That's either time or money. Well, we just know that most people come in with not a lot of money. There's not a lot of millionaires looking to get into residential real estate sales, right? They're probably already good where they're at. So what does that leave you? That leaves you choices. That leaves you choices to invest your time with, right? Cold calling, door knocking, calling FSBOs, calling expireds, social media, right? That's all the free stuff where you have to directly trade your time for money. And that's where other people struggle with, right? That's probably where another percentage of people quit because that stuff is not easy, right? I mean, who loves to cold call? Who loves to door knock? All right, so who loves to call FSBOs after 50 other agents already called them right before you? right? It's difficult. So if you're going to invest, and this is very important, if you're going to invest your time in something, you want to know that you're going to get a good return, right? It's just like if you're investing your money, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, okay, you're going to analyze, hopefully you analyze whatever investment you're putting your money into, right? You're going to say, okay, what's going to be my return? When can I get my money back? When can I reinvest that? What makes the most sense? And that's probably where you're going to place your money. Well, that should be the exact same thought process whenever you're looking at investing in social media. And what I was, in my bio, what I was saying is that what I got tired of was dabbling in all platforms, right? You've heard the saying, right? What is it? Master of none, or jack of all trades, master of none, right? So that's the problem. And so that was the decision where I said, you know what, for 2021, I'm going to go all in. I'm going all in on one platform, period. That's it. And so what is that going to be? Well, I heard everything saying Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and no offense to any other platform or no offense to cold calling or door knocking, that stuff works. You can be successful in there. So I'm just saying my personal choice was what is going to give me the best return of my time and the best return of my investment, right? So I made the decision that was YouTube based on research. Now, what I didn't do, we were talking about this last night, right? Analysis paralysis, right? Or, knowledge is power, or knowledge is actually potential power you have to put in action. Well, there's two sides to that. You have to put things in action, but at the same time, there's also some YouTubers that say you just got to press record. I believe in that, but at the same time, you don't want to just press record because otherwise you're going to spin your wheels, for months or years, and you're not going to understand. But if you actually take the time and effort to understand that how the platform works, it can be extremely powerful. And let me just say this. If you treat YouTube like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. If you treat YouTube like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And I think it'll give you one of the best returns you can ever invest on there, especially in your time. So YouTube is the world's second largest search engine next to Google, right? Google is YouTube. So their search goes hand in hand. So you think about this. People go there for entertainment, education, information, right? Or if you can combine those two, if you can provide education and entertainment, you've got edutainment or infotainment, right? So if you can actually provide information or education plus your personality in there, that's why it's so powerful, right? Because people are going to resonate with people, right? People like to do business who they like or who they want to be, right? So it doesn't matter who's in your market, how many other agents are doing it or whatever. I'm in Dallas, Texas, one of the most saturated markets you could possibly imagine, not only in real estate agents, but on YouTube as well. There's vloggers, bloggers, travel guides, travelers, lifestyle, everything else. Somebody just posted, I moved to Dallas and it has 100,000 views, right? So all those videos you have to compete with. On top of that, when I came into Dallas, this wasn't really a necessarily new concept. There was already several other real estate agents putting out videos on YouTube. What I took the time to do before I released the first video is study YouTube for almost 2 to 3 months. To study it, to understand it. What does it mean? That means buying the books. And that's what I did. I went all in because once I decided that was what's going to happen, then it wasn't just, it was all in, right? So there's books out there, and there's crappy books, but then there's good books, right? And then you watch some videos, and some people put out bad videos, and so you have to go through that process, right? But you're always picking up something from that. So let me show you this. These are back-end analytics from our channel. YouTube search, look at this, 36%. So what does that tell you, right? YouTube is a search engine, right? So we're going to get into why that is so important. Look at our external traffic. External traffic, look at this. 37% comes from Google. Now, if you do not pay to get on Google, what are your chances of getting on the first page of Google? What? Very slim. If you started blogging, now if you blogged in the early 2000s, you had a good chance if you had an awesome blog writer to rank first page of Google, right? That's not going to be the case anymore. It's nearly impossible to rank first page of Google. But you know what pops up first page of Google now? YouTube videos. And if you rank your video properly, you can be on the first page of Google with a YouTube video. Google your city and state, scroll down about halfway, you're probably going to see a section just for YouTube videos. There's even a tab up at the top, right? There's all, there's images, and then there's videos. So what do you think? If somebody's a visual learner, which most people are, then they're going to go to videos, right? Who likes to read blogs these days? Let me see a show of hands. Okay, who likes to watch videos these days? Okay, so now this is why YouTube is so important. I'm going to go over a couple of these. Interruption versus intentional marketing. Think about this. So product or services, all traditional marketing, as long as it's ever been, has to be put in front of someone over and over and over again, right? Think about it. You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, you see the shampoo, right? You see the detergent commercial. How many times have you ever watched a show and you go, oh, this commercial again, right? Oh, I've seen that. Or you start singing the little jingles in your head. Why do they do that? They do that because it's not because you need shampoo at that very second on your couch when you're watching that show, right? No. But they're trying to get that jingle in your head. They're trying to hit you over and over and over again. So when you go to the store and you're looking at shampoo, you're like, oh, I want to get that kind, right? So that is traditional marketing. It's basically beat you over the head, right? And that's also the way most real estate agents think about marketing as well. I've got to take over my market. I've got to be seen everywhere in my town. I've got to be everywhere, right? I've got to be on every single shopping cart. Well, guess what? It costs a lot of money to be on every shopping cart. It costs a lot of money. It costs money for billboards. It costs money for all that stuff. So, and that's the whole point of retargeting. It's the same thing on Facebook, right? Or you go to Amazon or you go to Bed Bath & Beyond, and then you see the Bed Bath & Beyond, sheets that you were looking at, or the shoes you looked at on Amazon, you see it on every website after that, right? Why is that? That's retargeting. That is because they know they have to get in front of you over and over and over again and guess what? That costs money. That costs money online as well. If you've ever run Facebook ads, that costs money to hit your audience and then to retarget, right? So you got to do that over and over again because that is interruption marketing. It's interrupting what you're doing. You're not in the buying mode, right? You're not thinking about, I need shoes right now. You might have just looked at some, but now they're just trying to get you to cave in, right? So that's a big difference. So you think about this. Intentional marketing is when you need something from Amazon, what do? You go into Amazon, you hit the search bar, and you buy it, right? That is extreme intention, right? It takes you about 5 seconds to buy what you want to buy off of Amazon, right? You go to Google, you want some information. Where do you go search? What do? What's the term? Hey, that's a good question. You should, right? So that is intentional. So let me show you this. Again, back in analytics, look at our view counts here. They say over 80% of the traffic online is mobile. Okay, well look at this. Mobile phone, 48% of our traffic to the YouTube channel. Look at this. TV, 25%. Computer, tablet, 19. That means 52% of our traffic, a majority of our traffic comes from TV, research, tablet. What are people doing whenever they're on the couch, when they're in front of their computer or on a tablet? What are they doing? They're researching. You think they're intentional at that point? Do you think they're actually looking for information on what it's like to buy a house? So that's the difference between Facebook, Instagram, interruption marketing, right? You're scrolling. You're going there to see what your friends and family are doing, right? Let me ask you this. Who's bought a house recently? Anybody? Okay. Let me think about this. Was your first thought, now this may be a different audience because you can go to the MLS, but think about your buyer, and we're going to talk about this too. Always put yourself in the shoes of your client, right? What are they thinking? You're in California. You're in New York. You're in Chicago. You just got a job transfer. You're tired of lockdowns. You're tired of high taxes, whatever. You make a decision. You're like, I'm moving. Yeah, I'm moving to Texas. We're going to buy a house. Do you think people say, let's go to Facebook and go house shopping? Let's go to Instagram and go house shopping. But if they say, you know what, I don't know, I've never been to Texas. I've never been to Florida. I've never been to South Carolina. I've never been to Georgia. What does it look like? So now, think about this. And look at this views, half the amount of views, but now look at this watch time. Average 10 minutes, over 10 minutes of watch time from TV. Why? Because people are sitting on their couch. You're in their living room. They say if you can get to 6 minutes of consumed content, then you have a customer. Now think about that. If you're running a 1-minute Facebook ad or a 30-second story on Instagram, think how many times you have to hit somebody over the head to even get to 6 minutes of content that they'll actually consume of yours. We did it in one sitting. Look at this. Computer, 6 minutes. Tablet, 6 minutes. Game console, 9 minutes. We got some kids that like to watch too, but look at mobile, 4:48. Do you think people have attention spans when they're on mobile? No. You're sitting in Chick-fil-A line waiting for your nuggets. Are you looking for a house? If you're on Facebook and you see an ad for a house, do you think that that's time you're going to research and look into it? You're either going to scroll on by or you're going to hit the little form. You're like, oh, that house looks cool. I'll hit that. It captures your data. Is that a true client? It can be, but they're not intentional at that moment. So this shows you right here, where is their intention? So let me ask you this. Have you ever watched Facebook on your TV? No. Have you watched Facebook on your TV? Okay. Have you watched Instagram on your TV? Have you watched YouTube on your TV? For hours sometimes, right? So think about that. It's the same. Whoever watched Friends, the show Friends? Couple? You can put your hands up. It's okay. Let me see those hands again. Everybody, you watch Friends, the TV show. Now keep them up. Now, how many of you identified with one of those characters? All right. Y'all are thinking about real estate. Oh, how about $1 Million Listing? Who watches $1 Million Listing? How many of you identify with one of those? Think about it. But people do that, right? There's 6 characters. Why do you think they have 6 characters in Friends? Because somebody's going to relate to one of those characters, right? And they're going to say, I'm Ross, I'm Rachel, I'm Joey, right? You're Joey, you're Rachel, you're Ross. Because guess what? They're sitting down. All right, guys, here's a question you don't have to answer out this loud. How many of your wives watch The Housewives? And you're like, that's stupid, I'm not. And then after like 3 or 4 weeks, you're like, hey, is The Housewives coming on this week? Because what happens, you get sucked into that, you sit down on the couch, you start to like, oh man, I'm kind of like that guy. I like that guy. Oh, he's kind of cool. He's actually a good businessman. Oh, okay, I get that. So you know what happens. People start to develop relationships with you as they're sitting on their couch and watching you. That's going to give you the option to do that. Paid versus free. Facebook, Instagram, traditional marketing. It's all pay to play. Why do you think if you ever run a Facebook ad, you have to put in a daily budget? It's because if you don't pay the next day, guess what? Your ad is cut off. Period. You can post organic on there, but how many have 5,000 people on your Facebook and you post something and you get it goes out to 100 people? If you have a Facebook business page, you'll see the reaches, right? And you'll say, oh man, it's like 200 people. Only 200 people saw that? I've got like 10,000 people on my Facebook page. Why? Because they're forcing you to pay that. They're forcing you to pay into that. So, and again, on Facebook, Instagram, it all goes back to interruption marketing, right? It's going to take time and time again for people to actually, understand who you are and to do that. So YouTube is 100% free if you optimize that correctly. Look at, again, our back-end analytics. I put this up here just to show you. First video, December 5th, 2020. 54 impressions. But look now, 3.7 million impressions. That's been all 100% free and organic. We haven't paid a single penny for that. If you paid a penny per impression on Facebook or Instagram, that would cost you $37,000 in the last 6 months, at least just on Facebook advertising. So this has all been free. Does it start out slow? Yeah, a little bit, but you know what? All you need is a little jump, right? All you need is a little jump somewhere. That took where? Mid-January? So a month and a half, you're sitting there wondering, does this really work? Does it work? I don't know. Get a little jump, doesn't matter. And now look where we're averaging 25 to 30,000 impressions per day for free. So that shows you, look at this, 300,000 views now. Click-through rate is like the percentage of people that actually see your video. YouTube says if you're anywhere between 2 and 10%, that is good. So we average, if I showed you that, it's pretty much 5% across the board. Quantity versus quality. Think again, Facebook, Instagram. You pay for that. I can turn on a Facebook ad right now. We've done it. We've run them. You can turn on it for $10 a day. I guarantee you we'll get you 130 leads in a month, right? But guess what? You got 130 people that are like, kind of, yeah. Oh, yeah. I just like the picture of the house you put on there. I thought that was cool. So I clicked on it, Yeah, maybe, and then then next month you have another 130 people. And then the next month, and now the next thing you know, you've got 390 people in 3 months that are kind of like, kind of, yeah. Now, people do convert business from that. You can convert business from that. But guess what? You've got to go through 130 people to possibly get 1 or 2 of them. Right. So that's true, right? You found that? Anybody run Facebook ads? It's a very low conversion rate, right? Average 9-month conversion. So even if you talk to them, now you're going to have to probably likely convert them within 9 to 12 months. And guess what you have at that time? Now you have 1,000 people just from that Facebook ad. And now you're like, man, I can't even call through all these people, right? So our conversion ratios right now through YouTube, 14% if you just count leads from contracts. 14%. If you actually count volume, then, and it's a 45 close cycle, 45-day close cycle. That includes the 30 days we're under from whenever we send them to a lender to whenever they close. So that means really that includes the 30-day close cycle for lending. So that means actually we spend on average about 2 weeks with a person. That's it. So that's the good thing. YouTube is prime for attracting out-of-state buyers. And if you're in Texas, Florida, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Georgia, or any southern state where everybody's fleeing every other crazy state out there. Sorry, Rogelio. So where is the mass migration going, right? Where is it going? And if you're in one of these states, this is your prime opportunity to capitalize. And guess what? You know what? I don't need a brand in Dallas to be known from California. You know who knows me in California? No, nobody. Nobody knows me in California. Zero. Nobody knows me in Chicago. Nobody knows me in New York. But you know what? What they did is they went and searched. And you know what they also don't know? They also don't know a real estate agent in Dallas. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to start their search. They want to know, what does Dallas look like, feel like, smell like, taste like? I want to know what it's like to live there. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to go and search. And what's the best place to search and actually get a feel for something? So they're better credit. They make decisions. You know what I love about out-of-state buyers? They come in town for like 2 days and they buy a house and they leave. And now we don't even go to 70% of our closings because they end up closing in their state. We do mobile closings. So you don't even have that on your plate. All right, so now we send them T-shirts and we're like, all right, let us know when you're around. We'll stop by when we're in the neighborhood. They're coming in extremely intentional, right? People get job transfers. We've helped a family from Japan buy over the phone because he was getting transferred. And guess what? If you're getting transferred to the military, Megan, you probably know this. They give you a lot of time. Do they give you 6 months to plan for that when they transfer you to the military? So if you're in near a military base or anything like that, think about that. You should be capturing this. One of the top videos you should be doing is veteran benefits for your state. Very simple, right? So that'll attract your veterans. Where do you think the veterans are going? To look for information. And guess what? They usually have 30 to 45 days to move. Is that right, Megan? So once they're told to transfer, they got to transfer. Son has 1 week. You got that sometimes. We just helped that family from Japan called us. They're like begging us. They're like, Levi, we've been with this other agent for 2 months. We've lost 6 deals. Lost 6 deals. Like this is it. We have to buy a house like this week. And we got them a house within 3 days under contract. So, and that's the thing. That's what we actually tell people is we're like, look, we work fast, but we're going to work as fast as you need us to because here's the deal. In this type of market, we know how to get the deals. And we've been winning our deals. We haven't lost any deals at all. And that's a whole nother topic. But, there's a way to do that. And so we let people know if you need to move fast, we're going to help you move fast. Now look at this. Quality versus quantity. YouTube has only generated 310 leads, but 41, 42 transactions from that, so about a 14% conversion rate. But if you base it off of volume, so we only track commission amounts. So when somebody tells us I've talked to all 310 of these leads. I've had a conversation with them, and they've told me their budget. When they tell me they have a $300,000 budget, we input, that's a $9,000 commission. Since we started this channel in the last 8 months, we have $108 million in the pipeline from those 310 leads. That's equal to over $3 million in commissions. That's in the pipeline. But you can see, if you look at a volume standpoint, closing 22 million of that's at a 22% conversion ratio if you look at volume. versus transactions. That's quality, right? So that means we're not working with 1,000 leads from Facebook to try to get 10 deals. We worked with 300 leads to get 43 so far. Well, the ones that have bought today are the transactions we've got under contract. Everyone else is in a nurture. Yeah, we could have 3 or 4 more drop this week. So here's the other thing about YouTube. It's inbound versus outbound. So think about this, outbound. Again, I'm not trying to take away from anybody's prospecting or what you do. I know people that crush it with cold calling. I know people that crush it with door knocking. But you got to think about it. That's very hard. I was in Clubhouse the other day, and an agent said, we went out and spent an hour and a half. He door knocked 100 doors, talked to only 30 people, and he got 5 possibilities from that. So think about that. That if you're cold calling, right, you're on the defense, right? Because that person has no idea who you are. If you're calling a FSBO, then you're the 30th realtor that's already called them that day, anything like that, right? You're on the defense. They have no idea. You've got to establish that rapport, right? People want to work with you, so you got to establish that rapport. That you got to work through that. Not that that's not impossible. It's just a more difficult path, right? Now, we muster through that, but at the same time, you know, when they call you, we don't have any scripts. There's no selling. When they call us, they've already made the decision. So that's called a sales funnel. Anybody knows about the sales funnel or process? So you have top of funnel. That's the whole thing with marketing. If you understand marketing at all, you got to understand funnels. You never want a leaky funnel, first of all, but a funnel means that you put out the Facebook ad, right? People don't know who you are. They see the ad. They have awareness, right? But they don't know you still. So then you have to retarget them, and you have to retarget them, and you have to retarget them. And after 9 to 12 times, they finally go, oh, okay, you know what? I've seen this 9 to 12 times. I'm going to go ahead and click. So then, likely, even on those Facebook leads, you still have to call them, right? Because you just get data. You get a form insert. So here, they don't do that. So with YouTube, they take themselves through this entire sales process for free, right? They search on YouTube. They find your video on their own. What's the least path of resistance? When you do things on your own or when somebody tells you to do it? How many of you, when your spouse tells you to do something, you're like, oh yeah, great, let me get on that right now. You're like, why don't you do that? That's what you say. So YouTube takes them through the whole entire sales process on their own. So they find your videos, they watch your video, and guess what? YouTube's going to recommend your videos over and over and over again because that's what triggers the algorithm. When they watch one of your videos, YouTube says, oh, this person likes this person's videos. Let's recommend them another one of their videos because YouTube's #1 goal is to keep you on platform, period. That's their #1 goal, time on platform. They want you watching as many videos as possible. So they're going to reward the creators that keep their viewers on the platform as long as possible. Now, if they watch a second video and a third video, what are they doing? They're taking themselves to the middle of the funnel. They're developing that relationship with you, right? They're starting to like, oh, I kind of like this guy. All right, he kind of makes sense. Well, guess what happens because we don't have any other way to capture them except whenever they call us. And guess what? Who decided to call us? Did I call them during dinner? Did I call them when they're working in their yard? Did I call them at work? Is it awkward? No. You know what's awkward for them? It's awkward for them whenever they call us because they already feel like they know us and they're like, wait. So they made a decision. This is a small fraction of the text and emails we get. And I know you can't really read those, but I want you to see the amount of text that's on there. These are the text messages and emails we get. You're only going to get that from people that feel like they know you. They are telling us their entire story. Now, when you call somebody, you have to dig, right? You have to grind to get any information out of them. You're like, hey, how many kids you have? Why do you want to know that? Why are you asking about my kids? They on here, they're like, I have 3 kids, Jeremiah, Betty Sue, Bobby Joe. They're so nice. They love your videos. But, you know, they tell us everything in there, everything. We don't have to pry anything out of them. They'll tell us their budget, their wish list. You'll see the emails we get are like this sometimes. They just lay it all out there. They've already made the decision that they want to work with us. There's zero selling in that. And then whenever they call, can you turn that volume up? And whenever they call you, so that's when they text or email. Whenever they call you, this is what you hear.
Hi, Levi. Is this the Living in Dallas, Texas YouTube channel?
That's me.
Are you guys the folks on the YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay. I know exactly who I'm talking to then.
But this is regarding the Living in Dallas, Texas channel, right?
Wait, are you Levi from the videos, from the YouTube videos?
Yeah, that's me.
It's good talking to you.
I saw some of your videos, and that's how I found you. So actually very helpful.
My wife and I have seen your guys' videos on YouTube, and kind of caught our interest.
I'm posting on your YouTube, very interesting where you clear share the information.
I don't know if we should ask for an autograph or something. We've been following you on YouTube like you're a superstar.
That I'd reach out to you guys because I've been watching your YouTube videos.
Hey, good to talk to you guys. Been looking at your videos on YouTube.
I feel like I'm talking to the movie star. Just saw your YouTube video. I'm sure you get a lot of calls like this.
Like some of your videos are literally like the first videos I see. So I'm just like, let me call this guy. Let me text this gentleman.
Thank you. You have a nice video.
We were really impressed, and that's why we wanted to get in touch with you.
I saw your videos, and it actually helped me.
We liked your videos and your knowledge and your energy level. And
all the information that you gave us on the YouTube channel about both of those spots, it looks good.
We've watched pretty much all your videos.
I found you through YouTube, actually. I've been watching a lot of your videos lately.
Let me commend you, man. Good job on that.
Great videos on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've been looking at your stuff, and it's been helpful.
Your YouTube channel helps out a lot. You like to watch those videos, kind of get a lay of the land,
You make great videos, by the way. I enjoy watching them.
We've learned a great deal just watching your YouTube videos, which are amazing, by the way.
I found your information super helpful.
I like what you say in your videos. There's also hotspots for investments.
A no-brainer, but you guys are also well-informed, but I really like your stuff.
there's videos and content there. Really good stuff, really good sites of Paralysis, and really informative.
We watch your videos religiously.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Who is doing all the talking on those? Would that change your business if you had calls like that coming in every day? So instead of spending an hour and a half door knocking to talk to 30 people to try to get 5 possibilities, I spend an hour and a half making a video that generates 3 to 5 of these calls almost every day. And they're incoming, they're inbound. And you heard it, right? People are saying, you provided the information, you gave the value up front, right? Hey, I like you guys. Hey, I click with you. Then we have a Zoom option as well. I just threw a little cameo.
You should connect with Levi.
Yeah, I've heard.
So we give them the option if they want to get on Zoom. And
you should connect with Levi.
Yeah, I've heard him in a few rooms.
It's very important because I'll tell you this in a second.
Curious about his journey because that guy talks the talk. I love it.
And I found you through YouTube. It's kind of funny because it feels like I'm watching a YouTube video right now.
I knew he was gonna be cool.
You know what? After watching your clip, my head exploded. I was like, wow.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday.
I appreciate the text messages because those have been super helpful.
Hey, good seeing you again, Levi.
You enjoy the videos?
Oh yeah, I do. I really enjoyed your video.
We saw your YouTube channel and say, hey, look, he looks knowledgeable. He knows the land.
Funny to talk to the person behind the YouTube video.
From one creator to another, I really like your channel.
I saw your videos on YouTube. They're impressive.
It's like seeing a celebrity. I've watched it so much on the
Really good videos. I've enjoyed your videos over the weekend.
We've been watching you, Levi, on YouTube a lot, actually.
I've watched your YouTubes.
Did you find them helpful?
I actually did, yes.
We're definitely ready. And we've been kind of stalking you a little bit.
I was watching some videos and you know, and I must say, really amazing videos.
I've been watching a lot of the videos.
Yeah, it's actually nice to see you from those.
We've been watching your videos every day.
We saw some of your content and kept on saying, like, reach out. So we're reaching out.
So maybe you get some advice.
I really appreciated your video, the one you spoke to when you just described the different areas of Dallas.
And we were like, oh, these areas seem to fit our vibe.
It's been a year, so now I'm just kind of looking to head towards the DFW area.
Just from the research we've done, some of your videos were helpful too.
And I have never been
to Texas in my life. However, I know that I'm going to love it there because it just keeps on coming up. And funny seeing Levi on screen now talking to you instead of talking at you.
I found a couple places that I don't want to go to and a couple places I want to.
Okay, good.
Definitely ready to get back home.
I've left a couple of times myself, but I'm like a boomerang, always come back. So
It's actually really hard to get a house there as well.
not with us.
Well, yeah, let's see that. You know,
Just the timing, I guess, was kind of good. They say things kind of happen for a reason. So I've done some research. I did watch your videos. I'm actually coming to check out the areas and figure out which one we would like best.
Pretty cool to see you now.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's great to see you.
Cool. Well, thanks, Levi, and yeah, we'll be in touch.
Thanks, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I know it took a lot of your time, but that's really helpful. Thank you today, and then we can keep talking.
Thank you, Bo. Thank
We'll definitely stay in touch and make sure we get y'all taken care of, okay? Thanks,
Okay, thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank you both so much. I appreciate your time.
Nice to meet you back.
And let's get this done.
Would that change did it look like we were, like I had a script? Did it look like we were just talking? Did it look like we were having fun? Did it look like you saw like even the little kid on there, like that kid was so smitten the whole time, it was funny. It's just interesting to see that. And you see people get on there, they get on Zoom. And the reason we do that, we have text, call, email, or Zoom, right? Because think about it, your clients communicate in different ways. Clearly, people that want to jump on a Zoom, they want that interaction, right? They want to see you face to face, so we provide that to them because we want the path of least resistance for everybody. Somebody that texts, we text with them back. But actually, if they text us, we usually just call them within 5 minutes, and they're shocked by that. So speed to lead, right? So we hit them back, we capture them as soon as possible. If they call us, we answer the call all the time, every time. And they're like, wait a second, you heard the calls. Is this you? Wait, what? They're not even expecting that. So
You should connect.
Oh, let me go. So, and if you think, Fred, I'm throwing this one at you, Fred. Fred, he made the comment the other day. He wants to get into the video, but the time, right? The time constraints. So this is where I'm going to argue and say, hey, take time versus make time, right? Instagram, Facebook. Those types of platforms, you're usually posting all the time, right? You have to continually feed that. You're trying to capture people in that day, right? How many of you go to somebody's Facebook page and say, let me see what they did last year? Nobody? All right. So guess what they'll do on YouTube, though? They're going to search your entire channel and look for do you have the area I'm looking for? Right? So every day, stories disappear, right? You're directly trading time for effort. And that's not time for money, it's time for effort because you don't even know if that's going to convert into something. So think about that. So cold calling, here's the other aspect. Videos run 24/7 on YouTube. You'll see people watching your videos at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Look at 46. How many of you have cold called at 2 in the morning? How many of you door knocked at 2 in the morning? No? But guess what? I reached 46 people last night at 2 in the morning. Right? So that's working. When you're cold calling, think about this. If you're cold calling, and again, not trying to take away from it, I'm just trying to get you to think differently. The second you hang up that phone, your lead generation has stopped. So if you're calling for an hour a day, you are directly trading your time for that hour, your time for that effort, for that hour. Okay? Plus, how many people can you call at one time? One. So you're 1 to 1, even when you're calling. So I just reached 46 people at 2 in the morning that, you know what? Guess what? That's on their time. That's when they're ready to consume content, right? So now they found me that way. Look at this. Last 48 hours, we average 4,400 views every 2 days. That equals out to 92 views an hour. So that's prospecting by multiplication versus addition, right? Because think about it. Could you have an ISA team of 10 people? Guess what? They're still constrained to 8 hours a day, right? You can't even cold call in some states. You can't do that. But even if you have 10 ISAs, when they each make a phone call, how many people can they talk to at one time? So at most, they're talking to 10 people at one time. Guess what we're doing? 92 an hour, every hour, every day, all day long. Seasonal versus evergreen, this is why. If you're seasonal content, this is where most real estate agents make the mistake and they die on YouTube, because they're like, hey, look at my open house. Hey, here's my listing. And the thing is that unless you have a multi-million-dollar listing, it's probably not going to do anything on YouTube, because it is seasonal. It's only relevant. If you post any type of open house video, it's only relevant for that 2-hour period on a Saturday that nobody's ever going to find that video, right? And so if anybody ever comes to that after that standpoint, they're gone. And do you think they're ever going to come back to your channel again? So you got to think about this. Evergreen content means that when you create content, it's an evergreen tree. It stays evergreen all year long, right? It never loses its leaves. It's a relevant tree all year long. Not that any trees are not relevant. All right, for all the tree lovers out there. But I'm saying that if you create content that is relevant to that person, no matter any time they find it, are they more likely to continue watching other videos or your content? Right. So it's relevant to them no matter what day of time, year, month, season, anything. It's going to be relevant for them when they find it. So that's what you're looking for. 3 minutes? Oh, well, psh. God damn. All right. Selfish versus service, man, geez. All right, let's go. I'm like 1/3 of the way through. All right, so selfish versus, think about this. That goes back to, I'm kind of thrown off now. I'm like thinking, oh man, I feel like I just really, all right, I feel like I did a disservice to you guys. All right. Selfish versus service-based content. You think about this. Your listing, your open house, things like that. Again, that's not relevant. That goes hand in hand. So, you know, on YouTube, you show them content that they want to know. What it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, you know, everything in your city or state. So again, trading time versus compounding time. Your activity cannot be scaled except by adding other people, which also will be capped, right? We just kind of discussed that. So actually, I'm way ahead of myself right here. All right. So look at this. What was I going to show with this? Over the course of this channel, 33,000 hours of watch time. That's equal to 3.76 years. Now, everybody always loves the concept of compound interest, right? You want to make money on your money. Have you ever thought about compounding your time? Does that make sense? So if I make a video and we average 228 hours of watch time per day, that's equal to 9.52 days. Do you think you're going to catch me prospecting if you're calling one person at one time and I'm gaining 9.5 days for every day? And you know what? YouTube counts a view as 30 seconds minimum. You know what Facebook does? 1 second is a view on Facebook. So you don't even know if you're capturing that person. So this means, and the thing is, but a watch hour is a watch hour. That means the watch time has taken a full hour. That means they could have watched 4 15-minute videos, right? And that's an hour. So I know that's solid numbers on there. Look at this. This video we posted on Sunday jumped us up 361 hours. That's equal to 15 days. So posting the right content on there. All right, long form versus short form too. It's very difficult. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's very difficult if you're making short form content to piece that together to make long form. But if you make YouTube videos, you make a 10-minute video, guess what? That can be chopped up into 10, 20, 30 clips for everything else. You can feed every other social platform with a single video. All right, so how to research. Let's get into some nitty gritty, right? All right, how to research. Write this down. You got to get TubeBuddy. This is going to help you out quite a bit. If you want, you can just go to TubeBuddy. If you want to go to /TheRealAgents, then that would help us out a little bit if you want to show you some love there. But Google your city and state. I almost guarantee you there's going to be a box that says people also ask. And that gives you 4 video topics right there. Guess Google's telling you that's the most searched topics right now. You can go to Google Keyword Planner and look, you can put in every suburb in here. Now this is very vague, right? 10 to 100,000, okay, every suburb in Dallas is 10 to 100,000 searches per month in Google. All right, but if I go to TubeBuddy and I type in Frisco, Texas, this is the great thing about TubeBuddy. Frisco, Texas, look at this. 640,000 searches compared to 100,000 in Google. So what does that tell you right there? People are going to YouTube because they want to see what it looks like. Does that make sense? So 6.5 times what they're doing in Google. And guess what? Guess who's got the #1 ranked video for Frisco, Texas? You. That's right. That's a good answer. Prosper, Texas, 136,000 searches per month. Guess who's got the top 3 videos? And actually it says you own 4 of the top 19 results. Who owns the top 3 spots? You search Irving, Texas, 523,000 searches per month. Who's got the #1 and the #3 spot? You search Plano, Texas, 834,000 searches per month in YouTube. Who's got the #1 video? Allen, Texas, 167,000 searches. Who's got the #1 and the #3 video? And they say Forney, Texas, 11,500 searches, a little bit low, but who's got the first 3 videos? So they say in YouTube, people make decisions based off the first 5 videos that they pull up and search. And if we own 3 to 5 of those, who looks like the authority in the market? And you know what it cost me? 0. Think about it. If you go to YouTube and you search whatever topic it is, how to sew a dress, how to whatever, you know, how to cut a watermelon. Actually, if you saw my Instagram, I did that, how to cut a mango. Did anybody see that one? No? Okay. If you don't know how to cut a mango, if you're like me, you love mangoes, but you hate peeling them, they're a pain, go to my Instagram, check out the mango video. It's really awesome. I'll show you a good hack for that. But you think about this, if somebody wants to move to Forney, Texas, and that's all in their search bar, because guess what? If you don't scroll, you know how many videos it shows if you don't scroll? About 4 to 5. And we own 3 to 5 out of every single suburb in Dallas. And that was me coming late to the game. Oh, what I want to show you is really this. Whoa, where'd that go? Look at this. Frisco, Texas, 20,000 views. This is a virtual site tour. Look at this. We posted this video in one day. The very first day it ranked #1. It only has 823 views, ranked #1, over 20,000. So the views do not matter in, look at this, 23,000, where's 13? This one, this agent, this is my competitor, right? 13,000 views, but my 9,000 view video is ranked over his, right? And then we're right, so we sandwich them. So who do you think looks more like the authority, right? Look at this. 122,000 views on this city of Plano, Texas, but we outrank them. That's all based on optimization. You can do that through TubeBuddy. So TubeBuddy has that keyword search. Boy, this one's really touchy. Has that keyword search that you can see, and this is what I'm going to recommend to you. Go through TubeBuddy, search every single one of your suburbs, find out and list them what's the most searched, and that's where you need to start making your videos, right? Start with the highest volume. Then TubeBuddy allows you to thumbnail test. We don't guess on this stuff. Everything is very strategic. So look at this. We change up thumbnails just a little bit different. Look at this one. This one gets 6.5% click-through versus 6.3. This is 5.3 versus 109. That's a huge difference. That is a big difference. Think about it. If you're getting 25,000 impressions a day, that's a big difference, right? So take your ego out of it and test everything. Understand it. It tells you how to optimize, how to make your title. You take your title, if you're going to make a video for Frisco, Texas, this is going to spin. You'll go from 0 to 100%. So it's going to walk you through the optimization process. Going to tell you exactly which tags to put in there. It actually lists tags in there for you so that you can just click and add them on your own. You don't even have to guess with this stuff. But you got to be intentional about it. Yeah, it's in TubeBuddy. This is all in TubeBuddy right here. Again, then you can go to thumbnails. You can look at other people's thumbnails and see, okay, all right, you don't even see them. Look, they have more views on this video, but we outrank them. So you can see other competitors' thumbnails, and you can go in there. Then you get to the channel. Look at this channel. Does anybody have a guess what this channel is about? Right. The thing is, nobody knows me. I don't need Levi on there. Nobody knows who I am. But they tells them, okay, does this tell a story right here? Right there, living in Dallas, Texas. You can search that. So look at this. Where's our 3 biggest influx coming from, at least in Texas? California, New York, Chicago. Right? So someone's going to see that. What do? They instantly relate to that. Oh, hey, that's me. I'm in the moving truck. I want to get out of California, right? Except for Rogelio right now. Stay there. Oh, Look, they speak Spanish. Okay, new video, subscribe to learn about, okay. It's not Levi real estate, business, personal finance, and crochet, right? They know exactly what they're going to get here. Look at this. I don't have anything linked here. No Instagram, no Facebook. Why? Because what's YouTube's #1 goal? Time on platform. Why would I want to divert anybody from YouTube to try to get them to another platform where I have to try to convert them on that platform? I met one agent. I was helping an agent with their channel. All their calls to action were to a Facebook page. I'm like, why would you want to take somebody to a Facebook page, then have to actively comment with that person multiple times, and then try to get information out of them on there, and then try to convert them from that standpoint, right? That doesn't make any sense. Look at this. You can have a featured video. Man, my face looks really red there. You feature video. You position your description correctly on your featured video on your channel. Guess what shows up right there? Let's meet in person. Their only calls to action. The only reason we want them to leave the platform is to call us. That's the only option, right? And really, they can write down that number or the email, but if they want to schedule a Zoom call, that's the only thing that's going to take them off platform to schedule that Zoom call. So they can do that. And a majority of people call, text, and email. Actually, text is really big. So they show you. And then look at this video. If you're going to do office videos, now we do a lot of neighborhood vlogs. You saw like when you saw me out and about, I do a lot of, people love that stuff. But if that's not you, don't do that. Do you. If you're going to be in an office, look at this. Look at shoulders, look at top of head, look at depth behind me. So don't be making your videos like this, like you're in prison, right? Like you're about to get a mugshot. And have some background on there, right? And be up in there. You can probably see, you can see eyes. I'm looking right at that camera, right? Connecting with that viewer. So that's all connection in there. And that's it. That's what we're going to do. Thumbnails, again, 3 words or less on these thumbnails. And again, you want to, like this. People ask, how do you get around fair housing, blah, 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 all that stuff. Frisco's best, question mark. I don't know. Are these Frisco's best neighborhoods? I don't know. I'm just asking a question, right? I'm not telling you these are the best neighborhoods. I'm just asking the question. So, clearly, bright, less than 3 words, and that's what's going to get you on there. So videos to shoot. Real quick, I'll finish up here in 5 minutes. Videos to shoot. Pull a list of your most searched suburbs, neighborhoods in your area. So even this, here's the thing, guys. If you're going to start, this is what I'm going to recommend you do. I'm going to recommend you shoot your first 10 to 20 videos. All right, if you shoot 20 videos, let's say 20 videos, and you're going to publish twice a week, you now have 5 weeks of content. You can schedule all that out on YouTube, right? And the thing is that if you do that first, number one, you did it, number one. Number two, you could stick with it, because if you don't even get to 20 videos, or it takes you 5 months to get to 20 videos, I don't know, YouTube may not be for you. But if you can get 10 or 20 videos and you can schedule that out now, and then when you set them all to publish, guess what? You're published now for the next 5 weeks. Does that give you breathing room? Does it give you a little wiggle room? Do we know life happens? Do we know, vacations happen? Do we know people get sick? Do we know clients coming down? We know everything can derail us, right? So then we start filming our next 20 videos, but we've got the next 5 weeks scheduled out, so we don't have to worry about that, right? So if something happens 1 week or 2, it's okay, but you got to block time to schedule your videos. Just like anything else, you block time for everything else. If you're going to cold call or door knock or anything what you're going to do, you got to take some time and block time to make videos. But hopefully I showed you that it's going to give you a big return, right? So publish at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't have the audience from YouTube, it takes about 20 videos before you start to get that data. Schedule videos, set to publish, there you go, all that. Here's what you do. You search, you go into TubeBuddy, you find out your most searched cities, suburbs. You can do a vlog if you want. If you're not that type of person, then you need to go out. I recommend you get actual footage of that whole neighborhood, and you can add it in as B-roll. B-roll is secondary footage whenever you're filming a primary, right? If you're sitting there talking. If you're sitting there talking, then you can overlay everything you're talking about, right, in B-roll. Does that make sense? So if you're not going to go out and actually do it, map videos blew me away. I never thought this would be these are our most viewed videos, is actually getting on a Google map. I do it on Zoom. I get on Zoom, I share my screen, I'm in a little square up there, and I just walk people through the suburb. And I'm like, look, here's a Chick-fil-A, there's a Chipotle. That's reason enough why you should move here. And those videos get a ton of views, you know. That also plays into I think that plays into the back-end analytics of Google, because if you use a Google map, Google likes Google Maps, right? So I have an assumption that all that links up. We also geotag our thumbnails. If you don't know what geotagging is, then you can do that in your editing software. You actually geotag your thumbnails to Frisco, Texas. Shows up as a location. So, all right. What do you want me to do? Okay.
Well, before we get to the questions, we're going to give out the mic so that everybody can hear the question at the same time. So if you guys, I'll be up front and then Messiah will be in the back. So just raise your hand. We'll walk to you guys. That way it makes it easier. So we got 2 questions. Messiah, on your way, just drop off one mic. Everybody got that? That's cool? Yeah. All right, cool.
Oh, thanks.
So my question is more about time blocking.
Yep.
The time you spend shooting, researching, editing, posting versus client work, or what your team looks like?
Yeah, great question. Shooting is going to take you longer in the beginning. You're going to hone it down. You're going to get better at it. So that's going to reduce with over time. Number 2, we've got 130 videos. I've never edited a single one. Chris, stand up for me, please. So this is Chris. Guys, say hi to Chris. If you're in Georgia, he covers Northwest Georgia, by the way. So great referral partner. If you need somebody, you don't want to travel out to the boonies, then Chris is your guy. Yeah, he loves Northwest Georgia. We've launched a Northwest Georgia channel for him, and his wife actually is our editor. I met her 3 years ago. Been working with her on and off as a VA. She lives in Georgia, actually, with Chris, fortunately for Chris. But, you know, she edits everything, handles everything. She helps out on social media. She can make thumbnails. I always make a secondary thumbnail to A/B test, so it's like her perspective and my perspective on there. So other than that, she does really a lot of the work. So we just shoot. I upload everything into a Google Drive. She has everything. She pieces it together. She knows exactly what I'm looking for, pieces it all together, publish it. I review it. Any changes, I only have to send it back to her usually one time. If we need any changes, she does it, and it goes up.
Okay, real quick. With regards to area,
yep.
If you have, I live in St. Louis. So if I live in St. Louis, there's all the suburbs.
Yep.
Do you start one just for St. Louis and then all of the suburbs go under it? Or do you do each county?
No, you'd want either St. Louis living or living in St. Louis or moving to St. Louis, Missouri. Basically that's what you'd want the channel. And really channel name, I mean, it can pop up as a featured channel, but you can see here, what does 400,000 get you in Frisco? That's not going to do with Dallas, but Dallas is of course the most searched as a hub. Usually people go there first. A lot of people don't know the suburbs around Dallas, especially coming from out of state. So they're going to go to the main area first. They'll go to St. Louis. Subsequently, they'll find everything else. Look at this, Lucas, Texas. I mean, I haven't even published a Dallas video in quite some time. Actually our actual Dallas neighborhood videos get the least amount of views. All the suburbs blow up, but everybody knows Dallas.
Last question.
Thanks. So we've started a YouTube channel and had really great success in the North Metro Atlanta area, kind of like on the same journey we started late last year. The challenge that we're having is that we've become so buyer heavy because we're working with so many buyers, and everyone does a great job with YouTube channels of leveraging buyers, but have you found a way to leverage listings out of that locally?
I have my thoughts on that. I think number one, we get listing referrals. So we always ask every single person, do you have a real estate agent in your area? You'd be surprised the amount of people that don't. We refer them. So we collect 25% listing referrals all the time. And to me, that's the best one because you just hand that off and you get a check in the mail, 30 days later, right? So that's the best way to do it. Now, because we interlink this, I created what's called an SEO loop, and that is if you're not utilizing Google My Business in there, which coincides with that, which coincides with the blog site, which also coincides with Pinterest. All those are search engine optimization and search based. If you establish a Google My Business page, start feeding that. Here's the trick to Google My Business. You want to feed it like a social platform. If you're going to spend any time on any other platform, I would say it would be Google My Business. And you want to publish to it like you publish to Facebook or Instagram. I promise you, our Google My Business page this last month got over 6,000 views. And the reason being is because we publish to it, instead of posting a picture on Facebook, which I know is going to go nowhere, we post that picture on Google My Business. Guess who's finding that? Actual buyers and sellers. And so that's where we're getting listings from, is organically through Google My Business, because you're going to attract a lot of local area people that way. A blog site, yeah. A WordPress blog site. WordPress, you want to use WordPress because that's more ideal for blogging. Yes, German? Pinterest, Google My Business, and a blog site. And YouTube. That's the 4. Yep. That's why Google My Business is very important. Apple YouTube. It's going to go straight to Google and make sure that you're as good as you say you are on YouTube. Yeah. It's game over. Yep. True.
All right, everyone. Let's put our hands together for Levi. Thank you so. Yes.
And yeah, real quick. I mean, there's my cell phone. You're free to have it. If you want a list of our resources, like what we use for editing, we even have editors, things like that. Just text tools to the other number or email, and I'll give you that list of everything we use, so you can have access to it.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep.
All right, one more hand for Levi. Also for our awesome crew. Is that Jay? What? When did you slide in here, my friend? So good to see you.